How's everybody doing? We're live. Let's see. I know what's going on with this. Adjust this really quick. All right, we are live in my vintage and antique store. I'm your host, EJ Parker. It's still dark out. Hope you're doing well. I got some things to pack and ship. I gotta do my exercise, get me warmed up. Move your body. Shadow box. Get a dumbbell. Just get one. That's all you need is one. And just do repetition. You can do a lot. Like throughout my 20s, when I got in shape, when I was living in a small apartment, I didn't have a gym membership. I just had a dumbbell. And I would just do creative exercises to build arm muscles and stuff. And it worked. Just one dumbbell. You gotta push yourself, but you'll get results. All right. I'm extra busy with holiday stuff, domestic stuff, and some creative stuff. I got some new bottles, which I love. Got my cup of coffee, which I love. Got all of you, which I love. Welcome to my channel. I'm your host, EJ Parker. We are live in my glorious vintage and antique store. I'm gonna pack things and you can see what I sold overnight. Right now, we're so close to Christmas. It's kind of like a little bit of a slow sale spot. It'll pick right back up after after Christmas when people start to buy for themselves. But right now, it's too late to ship things in the mail and get it by Christmas. All right, so I'm trying to get this thing down that I sold last night. What the heck? This is the part where I had to climb. Everyone's doing great. Welcome to the channel, super early. I'm your host, EJ Parker. If you like antique and vintage and being creative, go ahead and subscribe. I'm your man. I gotta get this thing down. What is it? We're about to see. I've had this for a while. Sometimes you gotta take chances as a reseller. You don't know what the heck will sell really quick. I got it. You don't know what will sell quick. You don't know what will sit for a while. I'm just sat for about a year and a half. This is just like a plastic dollhouse, or like a doll bench made by, can't read the name. It's made in the USA, mid-late 20th century. So that is going out to Maryland, I believe. Thank you, Maryland. And thank all of you for joining me. Hope you're all toasty warm in your bed. All right. Good morning. T-shirt, yeah. That's the real one too. That's 1992 Nirvana. I bought that for $230 on eBay in 2017. And now I think it's worth around $400, give or take. It's the real one. You got the giant 1992 Nirvana, Come As You Are. I love it. It's too big for me to wear. I brought it down for a show once, for a concert tee show, and I just left it there because I love Kurt's image, or Kurt's message, Come As You Are, right? I agree with that. Just come as you are. So it's not for sale right now. I'm sorry, but one day it will be for sale. If you want a t-shirt for sale though, check out this segue. I do have my vintage Classic Solutions, my Mickey VCS shirt that I'm wearing right now. Oh yeah, look at that. I can model it for you on the back. It's all hand done, just washed cold. This is the Mickey Mouse VCS shirts. I'm gonna put these in my eBay store. Got small, medium, and large. Getting into fashion design. Bam! VCS. Vintage Classic Solutions. I'm your host, EJ Parker. Hope you're doing awesome. So I'm gonna get those shirts on, you see, it was pretty good. Dipping my toe in fashion, right? And then get the VCS. Bam! So if you like it, I'm gonna have that in my eBay store soon. And then, I don't know. I sold this plastic bench for a doll, like a doll display, and then I sold an antique chair. I think it's like a Pennsylvania Dutch hand-painted chair for a child. And that's going out to California. So thank you to all my lovely customers. I truly appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Any old bank bags? Yeah, I do. I have some old bank bags. I have like a currency bag. Where the hell is it? I think I sold one, but I think I still have one. I love when people, I love this game. Hey EJ, do you have a whatever? Because I usually do. But it's just finding it without me going crazy. Where's my bank bag? I think I have it in my eBay store unless it's sold. I do have like some, I have this. I got like army duffel bags. I use these for, these are army duffel bags. I use these for my baseball gloves. I sell baseball gloves in my eBay store, so I have a ton of them. And I just use this. I have an old army mail bag that I found. But yeah, I do have an old bank bag. I do have one, or I had it, or I have some. They may be in my eBay store right now. And I think they're from the Cleveland area. I love when you guys play that game with me. Hey EJ, do you have a what? Are you on drugs? No, I'm not. No, are you? I'm on coffee. Caffeine, I guess, is that a drug? No. Are you offering? Am I on drugs? No, I'm not on drugs. Drugs can fuck you up, dude. You gotta be careful depending on what you do. Weed's okay, but everything else, my 2 cents is steer clear of, because I have friends that die from that fucking shit. So you gotta walk the gamut, my friend. Walk the gamut. God damn it, walk the fucking gamut. Don't fucking bite the dust prematurely. That would fucking suck, right? Bite the dust on accident. I almost did that a couple times in my life. Fucking fucked up and almost bit the dust prematurely. Who wants to do that? Alright, so I'm looking for a box. That's what I'm always doing. But that means I'm selling stuff, so I'm happy. I gotta make sure my items ship securely. And then, oh yeah, I like that. It's time to get busy. Let's see what's going on in the chat. 2 years clean. Yeah, brother. Hell yeah, 2 years clean. Fuck yeah. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, I quit alcohol, cold turkey, I quit tobacco. I had friends involved in cocaine and heroin that wanted me to get involved. That shit's too dark. It'll rob your fucking soul, so don't fucking do it. I mean, you do what you want in your life. You have free will, but those of you who know. If you value anything in your life, don't fuck around with hard drugs. I mean, it'll just tear it up. You can't laugh, can't cry, you don't want to have sex, you don't want to fucking eat, you don't want to sleep. It fucking robs your soul. Fuck that shit. I just saw a David Bowie interview. I like David Bowie. And they asked him about his cocaine use. And he was like, oh shit. When he lived in LA, I guess he was just doing a ton of cocaine. And they asked him about it. And I like David Bowie. He's a real person, and I think he's really talented, and I'm sad he's dead. But he said he used cocaine as a means to like open up his personality because he was kind of shy. But it put him like in this quagmire of just all this fucking just darkness and emotional stress. But he did it because it brought him out of a personality thing. Like he was shy. And then he kicked all that stuff. Alright, so now I'm just going to add cardboard to this box. And then I'm going to add newspaper to cushion the bottom. Because, again, I don't want anything to crush it. I have a lot of scrap paper from all my bottles that I've been getting in the mail that I love. Not a mess around with drugs. I like weed. Weed's like a fucking plant, but that's it. I don't do pharmaceuticals. I don't do any of that shit. I drank a lot, but I quit cold turkey. I drank all the time. And then I got sick of being hungover, so I quit that cold turkey, and now I don't even want to drink. But now, what I do miss, though, I tell you this, is going out and being social with people, because let me tell you something. Like, going to a bar, like, I went to a bar for the first time. Like, I'm also a professional musician. I play bass guitar and upright bass. So I live my life in bars, all around the world, jazz bars and rock clubs and stuff. So I wanted to go to this jam session near my hometown a couple months ago, and I went, and it's at a bar, and just to go there alone and not drink, it fucking sucks. I'm just sitting there, and you really can't. I mean, even though in Ohio weed is legal now, thankfully, fuck yeah. It's not like a culture where you can just go openly smoke weed still. So what I need to do is start like a weed bar where you can go and just smoke weed, and there'll be like a live band, there'll be like healthy food, and it'll be open till like 2 a.m. and you can meet people, you know what I mean, and like exchange ideas. We need that in Ohio, because I mean, for the non-drinkers, like, who wants to go to a fucking bar and watch sports? If you're not into that, you know what I mean. So that's gonna be probably happening in Ohio soon. I kind of want to do that, start my own place. I got ideas, folks. I've been to clubs all around the world, so I got ideas in my head of like what I want to do with a club. Just someone's got to lend me like $2 million, and then I'm all set. Yeah. All right, so I'm packing this thing. Hope everyone's doing great. All snug as a bug in a rug in your little beds. I'm kind of like Santa Claus. I'm kind of like your middle-aged, skinny Santa Claus with an edge. Yeah. Packing stuff for all the little good boys and girls around the world. Driving around on my Toyota RAV4, my 2010, which I love. All right. I love how cars are so reliable nowadays. Like my dad used to tell me, like back in the 50s, like cars would like spit oil and shit, like they would run dirty. Like cars nowadays are so reliable. Knock on wood. I love Toyotas and I love Hondas because they just go. All you gotta do is change the oil and they just go. I love it. That's what I need. Sometimes you just gotta go. Alright, I'm digging through boxes, trying to find the perfect. Oh yeah. So I hate to tear up a box if I don't need to, but if something's already. What the hell is this? Like, I'd rather use like complete scrap cardboard than tear up a perfectly good box. But again, when you get all your boxes free from like big box stores, who gives a shit? So I try to conserve stuff, even though it's all free scrap cardboard. I'm gonna waste it. All right, so I'm just gonna line the sides, reinforce this. I'm worried about just being smacked from the side in transit because it's busy season. So just gonna be careful with that. I'm gonna cut this up. You gotta have a sharp knife. If you're gonna be an antique vintage dealer, you gotta have a sharp knife. Dull knives are more dangerous, trust me. Counterintuitive, but a dull knife. Try to cut things harder, you'll stress yourself in the knife and you'll end up hurting yourself. Alright, so I'm just gonna cut this up. This is like my double box cheat. Instead of wrapping the outside of the package for double boxing, I just go the inside, which is way easier. Otherwise, you gotta keep finding bigger boxes and stuff. Sometimes you have to do that, and that's fine. But I really like this approach, the inside double boxing approach. All right, I think I got. I think this is good. The next thing I gotta pack will be more challenging. A chair. So if you want to see me wrestle a tiny bear, stay tuned. This is chairs can be challenging because just the shape. I have chairs all around. Once I get my Wi-Fi in here sorted out in the next day or two, I can show you the attic. But I have like chairs up here from like 1775. I have 2 chairs up here. I found one chair. Someone threw a chair away in the garbage from like 1780 up there, and then I found another chair from like 1760 in a barn. And they're for sale. And I do sell old chairs, but they're just a pain in the butt to pack because you don't find a chair-shaped box. So you gotta make everything. I like to do those things in the summertime out my patio, and I can have a lot of workspace. Because here I'm kind of cramped in the winter. All right, so now as you can see, that little plastic bench is securely packed within layers of cardboard and paper. I'm just gonna add some scrap paper at the top. And then this will be good. My little heater is overwhelmed by the cold. It doesn't even work. A little heater. I think there's no point to having it, I don't think. It's like once you get past like mid-November in this little shop, it's like there's no insulation or anything. Once you get past mid-November, my heater like just doesn't really work anymore. I think it's more of a placebo to make me think it's warmer in here. All right, what am I doing? I gotta get more paper. I don't know why I get up so early every day. I get up every day like 4:30 a.m. But I mean, I guess it's because I don't drink. When I used to drink, I'd sleep. I mean, when I was playing music full time, living in China, I would go out at midnight and come home at 8 a.m. I would go out at midnight. That's when the party started. You know what I mean? You get the party, everyone's all, the clubs. That's when the band sounds the best. They're getting loose. That's when everyone's getting drunk and starting to dance. And you show up to the club then, and the clubs wouldn't close like they do in the USA. The clubs in China, because the club owners would just pay off the police. Like, the club's close at 2 a.m. Okay, here's your hongbao. No, they don't. So the clubs would just stay open. You know what I mean? Until the sun came up, and then you'd go home while like people are going about their morning business. You'd be like you're dressed up, all drunk, and it'd be like the milkman delivering the milk and stuff, the Bowser guy delivering the Bowser or whatever. All right, so now I'm just gonna fold these corners in to make this a bit smaller because there was some wasted space at the top I didn't need to fill. It's kind of pointless just to fill that with packing material. Now, as you can see, it's a lot more neat. So the clubs in China would stay open literally until 7 or 8 a.m. And then, the scary part? There were these secret clubs. I think this became a thing in like the early 2010s. Like, I'm not sure if it happened. I think it happened in the USA too. But like over like in like China and like I think like in like Asia, like Tokyo and stuff, like Hong Kong and Shanghai, like all the hip cities, like secret bars became a thing. And that's like a bar hidden in a building. Like, you would just go to some like office building and then like follow your friend to some random small door and open it, and there'd be like some fucking huge party going on. And that's how it was. And some of these clubs were really small. There was one called the Monkey Bar, which if you didn't know about it, you wouldn't know about it. It was like in a restaurant, but a secret door. So you go into the restaurant all drunk and be like, hey, and then you'd sneak around the hostess or whatever, and then there's like this little door you'd go in, and there'd be like this little bar like just of like beautiful people getting drunk. And then there was this fucked up place, check this out, called Gossip. Holy shit, if you went to Gossip, you were fucking in trouble because it was already like 9 a.m. the next day. All right, so I would go there with my very affluent friends. I rubbed shoulders with very affluent people when I was living in Shanghai. Have base will travel, right? That's why you just got practice, kids. You got to practice your instrument. So we would be at the jazz club, this club called Jay-Z, until like 7 a.m. jamming with musicians from all around the world, drinking, smoking weed, telling stories. And then that staff would just be exhausted. The Jay-Z staff would be, then there's just like 8 p.m. the next day, or the day before. So the staff had to go home. So they closed the club finally at like 8 or 9 a.m. And then we'd go to Gossip, and that's where the trouble started. That's where you just drink champagne. This is like, let's go drink champagne at 9 a.m. without any food. By the bottle. I mean, and there's other things involved too. I mean, it was just a lot of French people would go to that one, and that one was off the hook because it was in some 5-star hotel on a weird floor. So you would go to this hotel, I think on Nanjing Lu, and you would like go in the lobby, like you go into a hotel room, and then you get in the elevator at 9 a.m. and then you would hit like I think it was like 13, or it was some odd floor, and like the floor like didn't exist, but you hit it, and then once you got there, it opened up, and like there's all these like French people like just like climbing over each other, like drinking champagne. That was Gossip, and I think it's called that because you had to know about it through Gossip. It was like a secret bar. Holy shit! Oh god, there was other places too. Trying to think if there's a PG-13 rated morning motivation or what. There was a bar called the Dragon Bar. Holy shit. If you went to the Dragon Bar, you were accompanied by the devil himself. And the first round was on him. Holy shit. Talk about debauchery, talk about late night, anything goes. That's the Dragon Bar. And the Dragon Bar was like one of those places that when I got to Shanghai in 2004, it was already notorious, like a notorious legend. Like, oh, you guys went to the Dragon Bar last night? Oh shit. Like one of those things. Where are my labels at? Like, and you'd see someone from the Dragon Bar like the day or two later, like in normal public, and you'd be like, oh no. I need to get my labels. Give me 1 second, my fine friends. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Got my labels, got my coffee. How's everybody doing? All right. I'm your host, EJ Parker. We are live in my vintage and antique store. This is Vintage Classic Solutions. That is a Nirvana shirt. That one's not for sale though. That's just my my inspirational background t-shirt. Alright, so I got my labels. It's still dark out. I gotta clean this stuff up, otherwise I'm gonna trip all over my damn self. Alright, so yeah, Dragon Bar was a crazy place to go. And when someone said, hey, let's go to the Dragon Bar at like 4 a.m., you and your friends all looked at each other and were like, oh man, are we gonna do this? And then, you know, and then you did it, and then Dragon Bar. And then. So that bench, where's it going? It's going to Maryland. Thank you, Maryland. Thank you for your purchase, supporting small businesses. Right. But that whole time when I was doing all that drinking and stuff, luckily I had my music to kind of pull me through that shit, because it got muddy, you know what I mean? All that partying and stuff, and you can lose focus, but I had my music to keep me motivated to not just go overboard. That's why I always told myself I could never have a girlfriend that partied more than me, because I would just destroy myself, because I was always the one that wanted to party, and if my girlfriend was like even more outgoingly wanting to party than me, I'd probably destroy myself. I always needed someone to hold me back, to check myself before I wrecked myself. And luckily I didn't wreck myself. And I'm happy you didn't wreck yourself either. You know why? Because you are more precious and more rare than a diamond. I've been talking about that with people. Diamonds are not rare or precious. It's a contrived, it's a marketing scheme developed by wealthy individuals that control the flow of diamonds to make a lot of money. Diamonds, it rains diamonds on Neptune. It doesn't rain you on Neptune. So you gotta have some kind of focus and some kind of passion and some kind of desire to pull you through life's tough times. Mine is music and art and my antiques. Because when things got tough for me this past year, that's what I relied on. And when things have gotten tough for me in the past, throughout my 45 years here on Earth, music and art and my antiques get me through it. And it pushes me to evolve as a person and to learn about myself and you guys and the world around me. So it's an adventure. So this should be good, I think. I think this is good. This is good. So now you do this. This will be more challenging, but nothing out. This is a antique. It's like a Dutch Pennsylvania style chair for a kid or a display. It's really quite nice. A woven seat. This is like a ladder back style chair. I have these up in my attic, adult sizes. But this is nice because it has that hand painted detail. Anything with, you know, old paint is always more collectible. It just has, collectors find it more desirable because it just looks good, you know. All right, let me keep moving. So I gotta find. See, I don't think it's gonna do it. No, I gotta find like a real square box. And if I might just have to make something. I don't know. Let's see what this will do. This might be too big. Yeah, that's way too big. I'm gonna have to make something. Or not. Let me see. I don't know. I think I just gotta get busy and make something. This is too flimsy. This isn't gonna do anything. That ain't gonna work. All right, let me jump back in my pile of boxes as you're snug as a bug in your little beds. what am I gonna do today after all this? I gotta bring this stuff to the post office. Just like Santa Claus, gotta run around with my bag of toys, goodies, for all the good people on eBay. Dang it, it's not big enough. And then, I don't know. I mean, I gotta go look for stuff because I gotta keep selling. But right now, it's kind of a slow time to find things because, like, I go to a lot of thrift stores and stuff, and folks don't donate right now because they're too busy making cookies. All right. Oh, be careful. It's getting colder out. I gotta kick this into high gear. It gets colder the closer you get to the dawn. The colder it gets because you lose like the day before's heat or something like that. It's some natural phenomenon. The temperature gets colder. All right. Oh yeah. All right, that's my base. All right. So this Chips Ahoy box will be the base. You gotta have something to start. Otherwise, you're making a box from scratch. And with the chair this small, I don't think I need to. With the full-size adult chair, you might have to make a box from scratch, which is doable, but you just need a lot of space, like floor space, which I don't have at the second, and outside there's snow. The coffee's gonna be iced coffee. Okay, so let's try, put the chair in there, and then I gotta add layers. Do some work here. What about, ta-da! No, I gotta do more than that. It's going to California, so I gotta be real careful. Alright, I gotta do more. Gonna add some cardboard at the base. This is old wood. Not much of it. Goes back in the box, and then I'm just gonna do my patented E.J. Parker double boxing from the inside technique. If you resell or you want to become a reseller or antique vintage dealer, collect as much cardboard as you can. Start now. Just every day as you go out, just make it a habit. But you gotta have no shame. Like some people are like shy. You just gotta walk around like Walmart with a bunch of empty boxes. Some people are shy about asking. But the staff, they're always happy to give you boxes. So it makes their life easier. They're like, I'm like, excuse me, may I have those boxes? They're like, yeah, sure. Cardboard's so useful. I love cardboard. Alright. So I'm just going to reinforce all the sides of this box to prevent any damage in the mail. As my hands start to freeze. Alright. Yeah, you will avoid a lot of stress if you have just a bunch of boxes on hand at all times, because you can make anything. I even make like my Lionel trains. I even like use cardboard to make bridges and stuff. Alright. I could probably make a house out of cardboard if I had to. Who knows, if I keep buying all these black glass bottles, I'll probably have to live in a cardboard box. Those things are expensive. Alright. But they're worth it because they're beautiful and rare. And something about those bottles just inspire me. I think that's what I'm looking for. I'm always looking for inspiration. It could be a person, place, or thing just to inspire me to do something creative. I'm a musician at heart, so I mean, it's just always looking for inspiration. All right. See, the tricky part about this is always this part right now. It's always this. You always have the back of the chair, so you gotta negotiate how to pack it. It's not like a cube. I guess that's my point. But I gotta kind of pack it like it's a cube because there's no other choice. If you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe. I go live every morning when I do sales overnight, which is, I mean, it could be over every day. Been a little up and down lately because of holidays, and I haven't been listing as much. All right, let's keep on. Now I gotta add the top part. How the hell am I gonna do this? Usually I just wrap. I gotta reinforce the back, so I'm just gonna wrap cover around that. I hope there's some entertainment value in all this. Watching me toil away. Let's see. Well, I appreciate you joining me. I feel your presence, and I appreciate that. All right, so I'm just gonna reinforce this, and then what? And then do it again. Traffic is a pain in the ass now because the holidays, like going out the house is like, ugh, it's so busy out. All right, so that is looking better. And then I can. Now this is a wine box, so I gotta be careful that there's no visible wine verbiage because the post office will ship back a box that's got wine written on it because they think you're shipping wine. And that requires like a different process, like having the receiver sign it. So just be mindful that if you're shipping things in a wine box, you gotta cover up the writing, otherwise you get it shipped back to you. This box, I'm gonna have to cut it up. It's not gonna work like that. Focus. Alright, so now I'm just going to reinforce the back of this chair because that's the weak point. If anything's going to happen in transit, it's going to be the back of this chair. So that's why I got to reinforce, and I'm just covering it in cardboard. Probably gonna be an awkward looking package, but I'm gonna try my best to make it look streamlined. Alright, I'm gonna find the box. I think I'm just going to start taping and then just kind of sculpt it as I go. chairs can be challenging. It's a challenge. Challenge of the chair. It's coming together. Just gonna keep doing this till it looks like a box. Sides. Just making sure nothing's exposed. See, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Chairs are never easy. I don't know why I do it to myself, but I love chairs. I love chairs. All right. I love the practicality of them or something. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is for me and chairs. I'm gonna fix this. All right, so I'm just reinforcing the sides. Seems to be pretty good. Where's my tape gone? All right. And now I'm just going to tape everything up. And now my tape runs out. SOB, but I got a lot more, don't worry. Yeah. So I'm your host, EJ Parker. We are live in my vintage and antique store. It's called Vintage Classic Solutions. I've been doing this full time for about 5 years, though I've been collecting antiques for my whole life. Since I was 8, I have the passion for antiques. When I travel the world as a professional musician, I would visit antique markets in China and Europe, and I would see some pretty amazing things. This is the worst part. Frozen fingers trying to get the tape started. This is like the hardest part of being an antique dealer right here. It's dark out, it's freezing, here doesn't work. But I'm not gonna complain. And I'm not giving up. This is just like the hardest part. Alright, so now I'll tape it. For the love of Pete. Alright. So I started dealing in antiques because I moved, after I lived in Asia, in a very big city, Shanghai, I moved back to Ohio in a very small city where I just can't support myself and my family with music. But I moved back because I have, family members that were older and stuff that I want to be around. And so I had to do something else to make a living. And they always say, do what you know, and I know antiques. I can walk into a thrift store and see a bunch of stuff worth money, just collectible. So it's good to know things. It's great to be able to convert a passion into a career. It takes a lot of work though, but it's worth it because it's yours and you can't fire yourself. If you have a day job and you love it, and then you get a new manager and they don't like your shoes, they'll fire you. You know what I mean? And that's it. You can't fire yourself, but you gotta hold yourself accountable. What the heck? You gotta have, I've learned, and I'm still learning about, being a self-employed person. You gotta be internally motivated. That's for damn sure. Get yourself up at 4:30. All right. But I'd really be doing this than having to clock into some job to make someone else wealthy, to make some asshole boss wealthy. Fuck that. I believe in capitalism, but ethical capitalism, I just employ myself. And if I was an asshole boss, I'd quit. People don't quit jobs, they quit bosses. boss wants to come around and reinvent the wheel, something like that. You know what I mean? People don't want to deal with it. All right. But that's the challenge of having a day job. You got to deal with all these people. With music, it was different. It is different because you have projects. You do a gig, you do a concert, you perform, you have a dinner afterwards, and then you part ways. But corporate America, you just gotta see these people every day. God dog it, day in and day out. I don't know how you folks do it. Alright, let's continue to just, but, you know, variety is the spice of life. And if we were all the same, the world would taste kind of bland, wouldn't it? So this is just reinforcing this cardboard, so I feel more confidence that this makes it all the way from Ohio to California in one piece. As my fingers are frozen. God damn. And then tape. Tape operates at a high. Tape works better when it's hot out, so I'm trying to say. And it's kind of like not working right now. Days like this that make me look forward to like May when the birds are chirping. I can pretend it's May in my head. See how that works. Alright, so this is coming together. As you can see, it's still kind of clunky. As I devour cardboard like a beaver. Yeah. Here we go. All right. So I'm just making this look neater so it doesn't get snagged when it's traveling. Sometimes the things get, if it's got like a weird corner that's open, you get snagged on something, and then it can rip off your label in transit, and then you're kind of screwed. I think it happened one time, UPS, they even said that like labels have been lost, but they somehow added another one and it made it to where it was going. I like UPS. So I use, the more you ship things, the more you'll learn who's good for what. So FedEx is the best for long items, like a boat oar or like a shovel, antique shovel. And then UPS is good for like really big items, like a big square. I don't like. This is going UPS. Things like this big and bigger, I'll go UPS because the prices are good and they're really careful at that price point. And then the United States Post Office I use for everything else. Small size items. And they're all reliable. Ooh. This coming together. So you can imagine like a full-size chair. This is a lot more of you're wrestling a small bear. Just like crawling around trying to get all this stuff. And then I'm just going to cover up all the barcodes from the prior Chips Ahoy, you know what I mean? Fragile. I'm going to let this sit in the garage for a minute because the post office is not even open yet. But because sometimes what happens is the tape will stretch or it'll like come undone. Especially when it's really cold like this. Like I'll come outside into my shop, which is not heated, you know what I mean? And the tape will come loose sometimes. So I just gotta let it set for a minute. Let it marinate. tape marination. All right. Let's see. Fragile. This is going to, yeah, California, so gotta make sure it can make the voyage. Feeling pretty confident with this, I think. I always ship things like I'm shipping them to myself. I use empathy, and I want to make sure things. I use collector's sensibility. You know, I'm aware of what could get damaged on the item, what's the weak point. When I first started doing this, my motto was, "There's nothing I will not ship." I mean, I'll ship anything, a bicycle. I've toned that down a little bit just because I've learned, like, it doesn't make sense to, like, spend a lot of time packing something that you only make, you know, $30 for. There's other things that are more efficient for your time and energy and money. But there's, like, for example, like mid-century modern glass vases, swung vases made by Viking and L.E. Smith. They can be like 2 or 3 feet, like 2.5 feet tall, and that's just a glass tube essentially. And those are worth a lot of money, $200-300 or more. And I'll ship those all day. You gotta be hell bent on getting it there in one piece. You gotta have a lot of cardboard, bubble wrap. That's why you gotta have a collection of this stuff on hand at all times. You gotta have just a bunch of packing material always. All right, I think this is good. So I'm going to do the shake test. I don't hear anything loose in there. I think this is good. Plus it's going UPS. I mean, they're careful. No one's going to sit on this, I don't think. Sometimes they worry about like someone along the way just taking a break on the chair. But I think this is good. Put the label on. Scissors, California. I'm excited to bring all of you out this spring when I go out looking for treasure. Spring is fun because that's when you find so much stuff and the weather's great. You know how it is, that spring feeling. But we're not there yet. It's still 2024. All right. Now, just gotta make sure this label doesn't come loose. And that's it. Gonna try to draw the bottle today. I also draw antique bottles live. I try to go for photorealistic bottles, and it's a challenge. You know, it's like using your imagination to draw these things, because when you're drawing a bottle, all the shadows within the glass are all abstract. So you have to draw abstract shapes, but you gotta trust yourself, because when you're doing that, it looks messy and not right. But as you get closer to being done, it all comes together and it can look quite realistic. So I've been doing that a lot. If you're curious about that, keep an eye on my channel. So I go live. I've been doing random times to kind of find the best time slot. Sometimes it's really good to do it like after dinner, like 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes it was really good to do it in the morning. Now I think it's too early. But I also need to be motivated to do it, because I commit to doing it. Once I start drawing a bottle, I can't stop till it's done. So I got to be committed to it. All right, so the label's on there. shake it, doesn't move around. Oh yeah, clean up a little bit. Heck yeah, I'm your host, EJ Parker. We are live at Vintage Classic Solutions, my vintage and antique store that I love and adore. Now it's time to get coffee, and I gotta eat and probably exercise some more. How's the chat doing? Yeah, well, 100% take away from your soul, your morals, everything, but it's life better. Yeah, Justin Valdez. Yeah, I hear you, brother. That's awesome. Good for you. Way to be. I wish you all the best. You and your family. Stay strong. I'm gonna get some coffee, work out, and then go find some more treasure. So I want to thank you for being a part of this, and as always, thanks for checking in.